I hate this idea that if you got married tomorrow, there's a 50% chance that your marriage will end in divorce. Not only do I hate it, but I find it to be insidious and evil in nature. Not only because it's misunderstood, but when young people bring up the fact that they want to get married or they're interested in marrying someone, what will happen?
Don't do that. 50% of marriages end in divorce. If you marry, it is practically a coin flip on if you lose the house and kids. Instead, don't commit to anyone. Just get into non-committal relationships and don't pursue a family.
I mean, 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't gonna open, you're like, yo, f that, I'm not going. You're like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great.
And that is what I'm going to be breaking down in this video. And I'm also going to be talking about things you can and should do in order to prevent and lower your chances of divorce. Everything I'm going to discuss will be linked in the video's description. Now, when it comes to these statistics, we have to look further. We have to ask many questions. For example, how many previous marriages have they been in? People who have been previously married and ended in divorce are more likely to end in divorce again. These are what we call serial divorcers. After each divorce, their chances of divorce increase. In other words, just avoid people who have been previously married, and your chances of divorce decrease. Also noteworthy is open relationships. This is actually a new popular thing people are doing, which is stupid because the chances of divorce is roughly around 92 to 93%. Just avoid them. Be happy with your one spouse. Now, another factor to take into account is age, and this is actually a very interesting one because I don't view it as simply black and white. The numbers go that your chances of divorce are actually higher when you're younger, and they decrease as time goes on into, say, your 30s. But my theory on the matter is it simply has to do with the level of maturity the individual has. Can these people have open and honest conversations? Different things like that. I've met plenty of individuals who have gotten married at a young age, and they've had perfectly happy marriages and relationships. I think it is an individual thing. And when it comes to this, some people just take longer to mature and grow as individuals. And some people, even in later age, probably shouldn't get married. Just like there are those who are at a younger age who can and cannot. So what we really can learn from this is how fast have you grown as an individual? And is your partner a mature individual? If you both are, maybe you can get married as soon as you hit 18. But take that with a big grain of salt. Another is how high are their body count? This is a controversial topic, but the numbers speak for themselves. The people who have had a higher body count are more likely to divorce. That's just how it is. So if you can pick a person with a low body count or practically zero.
How do you expect anyone to do that? Everyone has a high body count. That is the norm. Finding people with less than 3 is very rare.
Well, that's a good point. The best thing you can do is search in the right areas. If you're Christian, that becomes much easier, except for the Catholics. We know they all sleep around. But here's an interesting number. People who are more religious are less likely to be promiscuous. And within those people who have higher amounts of faith and pray more tend to be even less promiscuous than their counterparts. Now, another aspect to take into account is how long do you both wait? The longer you wait before marriage, the more stable and satisfying your relationship and marriage will be. Another controversial number is race and even mixed couples. But all I can say here on YouTube is look into it yourself. Excuse me, I'm a little sick here. Another thing to take into account statistically is if your wife is a breadwinner. Well, if she divorces you, at least you get money and alimony. Not that it makes up for a broken marriage and the impact it has on your kids. Another one is mental disorders. If you can, just don't needlessly complicate your life. That's all it is. Now, when it comes to marriages and relationships and two people coming together, it is much more complex than simply numbers can help us with, which leaves room for the good, valid marriage and relationship advice. This is not my area of expertise. All I can do is cover the numbers, but I have read up on some interesting stuff, which I will also recommend to you. Here are 2 books for men and women. The one on the right is for women, and the one on the left is for men. Both these books are designed for you to have a good, healthy, long-lasting, satisfying relationship. I cannot recommend it enough. give them a read if you can, or just listen to them on Audible. Anyways, that is all. Also, when it comes to the statistics of divorce and things like that, if I missed anything, feel free to comment it down below. Other than that, feel free to like, subscribe, check out my previous videos, and I hope you had a good one. Also, if you're looking for a video editor, I'm up for hire right now. Feel free to just leave comments saying you would like my services, or contact me via email or Discord. Anyways, take care.